Hello, Taurus. Great to have you here. My name is Shona. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and then release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Taurus. Birthday for this month. One of the things I'm picking up for you, first message here, is that I do feel there is some, I feel like you're feeling, love and appreciation and things like that, but you're not really verbalizing what you're feeling to other people that need to hear it, or people that need it to take the message. Okay, so for example, you might like somebody, but I feel that for some reason you're not verbalizing, how you feel about them, and then they're getting confusing mixed messages from you, and likewise you to another person. And I do feel that a lot of it is, it's kind of like a mirroring effect, where you get like tongue-tied around them, and they feel a little bit awkward around you, or vice versa. And as a result, the communication that's coming through is not truthful and it's not meaningful. So whatever it is that you're feeling, try to verbalize it, or at least, try to find a way to express it. Because we're approaching, the sun in your constellation. So whatever you need to do, whatever you want to achieve, you are divinely supported, okay? You have a lot of momentum going into your constellation, which basically brings a lot of ambition, drive, and passion. And I know that we have Venus and, not Venus, excuse me, Mars and Mercury in retrograde, but I do feel that whatever needs to be said thoroughly, needs to be thoroughly explained, so that you can get the outcome that you want, or so that you can get the other person to understand you. So during this time, it is best to over-explain, okay, rather than leaving things unsaid. Explain over and over again until the other person understands where you're coming from. I feel like that's just a safe bet for all Mercury in retrograde time frames. What I'm also sensing is there is a person in your life that you have a very, very strong emotional connection with. And I do feel that they're being distant with you. You have like a very strong emotional rapport. You can tell them everything. You've been through thick and thin together. You feel like you want to reach out to them, but they seem a little bit distant. They're dealing with their own things, so it's best for you to try to understand that as well, okay? So that might be the person where the communication is a little bit shaky. If that's the case, I don't feel that there's another person in the picture. I just feel as if they're trying to figure some things out on their own, and they will return to you, and they will come back, and they will communicate with you based on whatever it is that they've concluded. But I do feel they need some space around this time, all right? In terms of the home environment, be very careful about, if you're like hiring contractors to repair things in the house, be very, very careful about loose electrical wiring, about like loose floorboards and things like that. If you're getting repairs for those things, if it's not anything urgent, try to wait until the end of the month when the Mercury retrograde period is over, because I feel like something needs to be repaired on the home front, but you're not getting like solid estimates, okay? You're not getting solid, good estimates here. So that's what I'm feeling for a lot of you. And let me see if there's anything else coming through. So overall, Mercury in retrograde, communication will be a little bit problematic. So once again, try to explain yourself comprehensively and thoroughly. And I do feel that when it comes to love messages and, communication from a significant person, or somebody that you have your eyes on, it's a little bit, I feel like stop, go type of energy. So I know it's frustrating, let it play out. And especially for those of you who are newly dating, the dating front is going to be a little bit frustrating because of it, because of the communication, because of people not knowing, acting as if they don't really know what they want. So the energy you encounter might be just that, you know what you want, and you know what your heart desires, or whom it is that your heart desires. But the person, the object of your desire, they might not know exactly what they want, and that can be a little bit frustrating. So just hang in there, okay, Taurus? Let's see your spiritual advice. And one last card. Okay. All right, so let's go into this reading. We have some good cards, actually. So the first thing that we have out here is the Empress and the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, let's talk about that first, because this seems to me like residual energy coming in from last month, okay? The Five of Cups is a situation where we are mourning the loss of something in our lives. This is a card about regrets. There's a little bit of disappointment. What I'm feeling is a little bit of shame for some reason, letting a good thing go, or, you know, not taking value, not putting, I guess, like not seeing the true value in a person, and not spending enough time with a person, and now they're no longer in your life. I feel that a lot of you are dealing with this situation that might have come in from the previous months, where somebody in your life, a very, very significant person that really did a lot to help you, or that really took care of you. And I feel that you might have taken them for granted, or there might be a situation where they have taken you for granted. As a result of it, you can no longer stay in this situation where you feel taken advantage of, or you feel taken for granted, or you feel underappreciated, okay? Unappreciated or underappreciated. As a result of it, you're moving forward and you're advancing into something new. And I do sense for a lot of you, whatever situation this is that you had to contend with, I feel that it had to happen mainly because the universe wanted to show you that, you know, Taurus, be very strong in your own sense of self-worth. Know what you have to offer other people, even though you don't feel that, you know, it's being reciprocated or it's being mirrored back at you, then you know you're in the wrong relationship. So this is basically like one of those, stumbling blocks, or one of those major milestones in life where we have to realize, I am better than this relationship or this situation that I'm in. So I need to find something that is more in alignment with my self-worth. So it's putting you in this situation so that you can overcome it, and that you can like redefine and stand firm in what it is that you feel you deserve, and how you want other people to treat you. So this is basically coming to the point where, yes, other people have disappointed you, but at the same time, you are starting to see their true color, and you're starting to realize that maybe I just need to, you know, find people who are better for me, okay? For a lot of you, the Empress, there's a Venus sign here, and Venus is the ruler of Taurus as well. So I do feel there is a very, very strong sense of coming into a place of self-confidence, knowing your own self-worth, and not settling. Okay, both of these cards indicate to me a lot of you had to walk away from a situation. It was difficult to walk away from, but I feel that it was hurting your self-esteem, and it wasn't good for you. Like emotionally, it just wasn't good for you. You were either, if it's a job, you were either undervalued, underpaid, or just unappreciated. They did not utilize your skills, or they didn't appreciate all the skills and the assets that you have to offer them. So which just takes us to the next batch of cards. We do have the Hangman as well as the Eight of Cups. So this is a situation where you're mourning, and I feel that by the second week of this month, you're pretty much going to be emotionally checked out of it and moving forward, okay? There's a little bit of contemplation here with the Hangman, whether or not you want to be in it. I feel like it's like a 50-50 for a lot of you who are dealing with this type of a situation. You could be in a position where you are contemplating, should I move away from this? What should I do? I know there's a lot of good things out there for me, and I need to go find it. But at the same time, you are an earth sign. You're very methodical, and you're very calculating, and you make these very, very rational decisions before you implement any type of a major move. So I feel for a lot of you, you might have like started walking away, emotionally checking out, or at least, you know, contemplating to yourself, setting a timeline for yourself. I'm going to walk as to what needs to happen by a certain time frame in order for you to leave this situation. A lot of you are still contemplating whether or not you want to fix it or you want to leave, but I feel majority of you, or at least, you know, half of you overwhelmingly, have emotionally checked out. So the next step to me, it seems, is that you have to physically remove yourself from this situation and then gradually mentally remove yourself from it where you're not thinking about it anymore, okay? When it comes to like movement, whether you're changing homes, properties, and things like that, I do feel there is going to be a delay regarding the sales or the physical movement away from one property to the next. Selling one property so that you can move on to the next place, for example. You might have like, you might be in a situation where the buyers that are coming in, they're trying to get you to reduce the price. And I feel that you can only reduce it so much. So don't don't be so anxious about selling your property that you're lowballing yourself, okay? So they might want you to, I guess, like reduce the price, and you might be desperate just to sell it. I do feel you want to hold out just a little bit, because the advice here is basically holding out. Don't be too quick to walk away. Hold out on the situation. Do multiple rounds of negotiations before you can make some sort of a solid decision as to, you know, how you want to settle it, or at what price you want to settle it, okay? The next cluster deals with your emotional state. So I do have the King of Wands as well as the Queen of Cups. So a lot of you might be somehow linked up with either a fire sign. So I feel like this is more for you women, fire sign, but you know, it's not gender specific exactly. I just feel it strongly for so let's just say if you're linked up with a fire sign, you have a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. This is sun, moon, or rising. I do feel there is somebody in your life that is sparking your passion, okay? That is igniting some type of a very strong chemistry within you, and a very strong, like they have a very somewhat of an aggressive energy, not in a bad way, but they're very directed, very straightforward, very clear about what it is that they want. So I do feel that for a lot of you, you might be dealing with a fire sign, either in an interpersonal relationship or a romantic relationship. But I do sense that this person is igniting some feelings in you, and you feel quite smitten by them. And I do feel you wanting to take the relationship possibly to the next level. I honestly feel that a lot of you are in a relationship that's not bringing you a lot of happiness anymore, and you are either tempted by somebody outside of the relationship, I feel. I don't feel you're going to do anything against your moral judgment. I don't feel that you're going to go against your moral compass. But what I do sense is that you're looking at your external environment, and you're looking potentially at other friends, other couples that have a very, very strong like relationship dynamic, and you're envying what they have. And I don't feel that, you know, like you admire the emotional and intellectual rapport they have with one another, and you wish your relationship was like that. And I do feel that as a result of interacting with other people, other couples, you might realize what your relationship is lacking, so that you can fix them, or you can, you know, bring whatever element that you're needing in a relationship back into your relationship. In the process of dealing with other couples, you're starting to realize what they have is something that you want. So you're incorporating that into your own personal relationship, and you're trying to, you know, make sure that things are working out that way. But either way, I feel like the month is bringing about a lot of self-awareness, a lot of inner knowledge coming through that you can no longer deny about your needs, your desires, your wants, and you can't really sweep them under the rug anymore. You are starting to feel that there are elements in your life that have been making you like not like you haven't been satisfied. And I feel like in the past it was just, you know, work, home, work, and home. And for some reason, I feel like this month a lot of things are coming up to for re-examination. And I feel that you realize you have to take make some changes in your own life so that you can create the love relationship that you want, okay? For those of you who are dealing with a water sign, this is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is somebody that is highly emotionally like loving, giving, and they're just a really all around very good, sweet person. They have a very gentle, delicate heart. They're not passive. They're not aggressive. They're not passive. I'm sorry, they're not aggressive. They're a little bit like non-confrontational, so they avoid conflict, okay? What I'm feeling is that for those of you who are involved with a water sign, okay, I do sense that this is somebody who is, what I'm feeling is this. This is somebody that you are emotionally very, very attracted to. The relationship with them, or whenever you're around them, they make you feel like at home. They make you feel very, very comfortable. And I feel for a lot of you, and this is just a message, especially if you're dating women who are of a water sign, I feel like it's really important for you to not take your partner for granted, okay? I do sense that if you have somebody like this, male or female, in your life in the past, in any type of an interpersonal relationship, they put up with a lot of stuff, and they're very delicate, and they're not aggressive either. So whenever they get angry, they pretty much withdraw, and I feel there's a withdrawal situation here where they've given and given and given of their themselves, and they're depleted. They don't have much more to give. So if it's somebody in your past that you've been dealing with, and you feel like you might have taken them for granted, you might have like not giving them enough attention or enough love or enough affection. I do feel there's some energy coming through for this month where, you might be dealing with the regrets, or you might be dealing with this situation where somebody really loved you unconditionally, but you weren't happy, and you tried your best, but, it just didn't work out. What I'm also feeling is this is like the month in which you have to incorporate the yin and yang energy adequately, okay? On the one hand, I feel like there is an inner conflict playing out within for a lot of you. And for a lot of you, on the one hand, you want a relationship that is physically exciting, that is like sexually charged. On the other hand, you want an emotionally nurturing partner. So trying to balance out this yin and yang energy within you, like, do you want just a physical relationship, or do you want a long-term relationship? And being very clear about what it is that you want, I feel that that's going to help you manifest the right person, the right partner that is appropriate for you based on what it is that you want. So being very clear about that and not flip-flopping back and forth. I do feel for a lot of you, you might be caught in the center of some, threesome type of love attraction where one person fulfills you physically, the other person fulfills you emotionally. And when you're with one, you miss the other, and, likewise. So it seems to me as if you want to decide on what it is that you want. And for example, if you want a amalgamation of both people, I just want you to know that somebody like that does exist out there. Yes, it is hard to find, but once we set our intentions and we start to try to manifest the right things or the right people into our lives, they usually will come into our lives. Okay, so try to figure out what is important to me. Do I want just a physical relationship, or do I want a long-term, emotionally, fulfilling partnership? So figuring that out would be pretty much a good step in a good direction for you to head towards, okay? In terms of your financial situation, I definitely feel some type of repairs needing to happen in the home front. We have the Ten of Pentacles as well as the Two of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles indicates to me generational wealth and situation coming through that is like, this is like investment opportunities. This is like things that you've inherited, things that are passed down through the family, but it's also indicative of things that are built up long term as well. So you might have been spending a lot of time just building up your empire. And I do feel like, you have achieved that. We're at a 10. So the next phase is you're trying to find ways to either find more emotional fulfillment to get more emotional fulfillment from your life or out of your life. And you might be contemplating travel. You might be contemplating buying a new property. And like I mentioned, earlier when I mentioned with the house situation, I feel that, getting rid of, minimizing, downsizing is a really good thing to do for this month, okay? Getting back to the rudimentary of what is important in life. It's not, having 3, 4, or 5 property that you never use. It's actually wasteful. I feel like you have to get back to the roots of what is what is bringing me emotional happiness, okay? It's not about the house or the cars or the big garage or whatever it is that you feel you need. It's more about the connections and having the love and the stability and the support of those who are close to you, who understand you, where you don't have to over explain yourself, where you don't even have to defend yourself. So I feel like that's the situation here. In terms of your finances, please be careful and keep a close rein when it comes to like hiring contractors around the house, or making, if you're making investment opportunities, I would say wait until the end of the week, the end of the month, in order to make any major life-changing decisions when it concerns money, okay? On the other hand, I honestly feel that for a lot of you, there might be like an addition to the family. We do have the Empress here, and the Empress usually indicates pregnancy, along with the Ten of Pentacles, which indicates like a family card. So I do feel possibly an addition to the family, somebody being added to the family, which is usually indicative of birth or taking on an elderly parent, an elderly figure caring for them. So something is being added within the family unit, and as a result of it, you might have to do some minor rebalancing of the budget. So that's what I'm feeling as well. And I feel like you have to do some minor readjustment to your budget, and it's going to be something that is that needs to be done now, and it needs to be carried out long term. Okay, so if somebody is coming into the picture, either an elderly mother, elderly aunt, uncle, father figure, or elderly grandparents or something like that, I feel there is a new addition to the family. And I do feel for a lot of you, it might be a male, like I'm sensing a male figure coming through, like a father figure, okay? Possibly from the wife side of the family for those of you who are married, or I feel like it's a father figure for a lot of you. So in terms of your advice here, the financial situation, they don't want you to worry about it, okay? So these are your advice cards. We have the Strength card, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. So let's talk about you first. This is your card here, whether you are a male or female. You are going to be on top. You're going to be shiny. Your financial situation is going to be completely stable. So it's telling you basically don't worry about it. Everything will work out, and you will be on top again. So this minor juggling act that you're doing, I do feel that it is going to be balanced out by the end of the month, and you're going to get some type of peace of mind when it comes to your financial situation, okay? What I'm also feeling as well with the Strength card and the Eight of Pentacles. The Strength card is a card about having patience and waiting just a little bit longer. And it's also a card about taking risks, okay? So earlier when I mentioned that you feel a certain way, and it doesn't have to be like love or whatever. There is something that is happening around you, and you have a very strong feeling about it. Either you like it or you don't. And I do feel that the important thing is verbalize what it is that you're feeling. It's like prying the answers from the lion's mouth. So don't be afraid to verbalize what it is that you need to say about how you feel about something transpiring in your life, how you feel about a person, whatever it is that you feel. You need an outlet. You need to get it out there so that you're not ending up stuck. So I feel like it's just really important for you to do that, okay? I do sense as well that when it comes to, if you're dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, they might have a tendency to like talk big, and they might be a little bit aggressive with their speech. The advice is to be patient and to not take what they say to heart. So if you're dealing with like father figure, for example, and in the past they're like, the epitome of toughness, and that tough father figure, like the stern father figure, just don't take it to heart. And I know it's hard when we deal with our parents. They know how to push our buttons. There are many trigger topics when it concerns family members, but I do feel taking it with a sense of humor and a grain of salt would go further for you, okay? So the Eight of Pentacles here as well is a card about working diligently to expand something, to create something, to build something up. It might seem a little bit monotonous, but I do feel you're pretty much at the last leg of the journey. So it's not going to be, I feel like a lot of you are wrapping up some type of projects. So it's telling me whatever project you're working on, don't abandon it. You're almost there. It is going to pay off handsomely, okay? So try not to abandon any projects. Just keep at it, work diligently, and you will be on top, and you will get the fame and the fortune associated with it, okay? So overall, pretty good reading, Taurus. I do wish you all the best for this month. Let's go into your love reading and see what's going on for you. I'm going to put this back because it just didn't feel like it was meant, okay, to be in the reading. So you're getting the King of Wands and the Page of Cups, the water sign, the fire sign again. Okay, so they're deciding to give you a lot of cards. Okay, I'm just going to go over this because and we have the sneaking around card. So, you know, I'm going to state the obvious here. So a lot of you are in a situation where you are involved with somebody, possibly a fire sign, and there is somebody in your life that you have your eyes on, a water sign, okay? So if you're and vice versa, if you're with, I feel like one person is older, one person is younger, so it can go both ways. But I feel like you are kind of like romantically linked up with a person, fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. And then there's a new love verging on the horizon for you, somebody that you like, somebody that you get along with, you have a very strong emotional connection with. And it's a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And you're at a point, I don't feel that you want to step out of the relationship, and you know, I don't feel that you're doing anything inappropriate. So for those of you dealing with that situation, decide on whatever it is that you want, okay? Decide on what's worth keeping, because I feel like you have invested a lot of time with the fire sign, it seems. If it's not working out, you will know if it's not working out, because I feel like your energy might be clashing with one another. You might not have the same interests. You might not express love and affection the same way. I do feel the relationship itself is very balanced, because we do have the Justice card as well. For others of you, you might be contemplating, you might be emerging from like a divorce situation, a separation situation, and while you're still, you know, legally married to the other person, you're not like divorced just yet. You might encounter a new energy, possibly a water sign, where you feel like this is a soulmate connection, you know, with the Two of Cups here. You feel as if this is the person that is meant for me, but I don't want to like cross the line because I'm still in a relationship. So there is definitely temptation, and the cards are advising as well. You're in a no-win situation where winning is at the dishonor of something else. It's at the expense of something else. So be very, very careful about what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're hoping to achieve, because I feel like there might be there's temptation here with the Seven of Swords. There's also dishonor as well. So, you know, try not to do anything in that regard, okay? What I'm also feeling is, for those of you who are single and looking, you have quite a few suitors coming your way, okay? There is potentially a person that you had your eyes on, that you never were, that you were not romantically involved with. They're coming back into your life, as well as a new person that you have your eyes on. So it can be a fire sign or water sign, in whatever combination that is for you. But I feel like you have a very strong soul connection with one person. And I do feel that it might be the new person. You're getting the emotional fulfillment that you're needing from the new person. So even though the past person is coming back in, it would not be in your best interest to re-engage with them in a relationship, because I feel like the new thing is what's going to bring you a lot